But I mean, when I small, I did take my back camera on and I shoot myself because he used to rent the equipment out, so he left. So I used to steal it. But sometimes they catch me and flog me.
Impressive.
I can tell you something. I have never had a big budget. Let me be honest. I don't care if I open anybody cash. When it comes to fight scenes, Nigerian action films, still a very long way to go. So what I do is we shoot one punch like 70 times. We might shoot a 1 minute fight scene for half a day or 2 days.
Basket Mouth sparked up some serious controversy.
You hear, there's something you hear that they gave people 1.something million for a film.
1.something million what? Dollars?
Dollars for a film.
They've really given people that sum?
Yes. I know somebody giving 2.something. So.
2.something million dollars?
Yes.
Who be the best? Heba! Nigeria, what's up? When I don't watch this film, Suspicion. One of my favorite movies this year. Probably my best. And today we'll be talking to the producer and director of this film.
Whoever is responsible for this, I've always sensed that there are others like us. As I define truth, I lose the love of my life.
What are you doing here?
Don't worry, I'm not here for you.
He also did part of the editing too. Ladies and gentlemen, we're talking to...
You're talking to... Heba, Tosin Igho, director extraordinaire, my guy.
He's allowed, Papa. He's allowed. That first edition. Today, you know, it's all conventional. So we just do as it's supposed to be.
Oh, that's how it's supposed to be. Let's just have fun, talk.
Let's just enjoy ourselves. Yes. All right, so
Tosin drink beer,
All right, so Tosin, up close and personal. You know, let's meet you. Okay.
Okay, my name is Tosin Igho. I'm a film director, producer, editor, visual effects artist, sound, cinematographer, masters of plenty. I've been in the entertainment industry for a very long time. I first started off as a musician in a group called Immaculate, which was, you know, a long time. I then got a record deal in South Africa, signed to Sony BMG with a group called Pyramid before I then became a solo artist and had songs like Ninja Boy, a number of jams before I then ventured into film school and became a music video director and did music videos for like Boko Dipo, The Band, almost everybody in the industry back in the days, from Samuel Okposu to Terry G. We made music videos all through around to Jimmy Jazz, so many times, so many times before I then now started.
Okay, now let's talk about, you know, when we're able to meet you up close and personal, let's talk about where you're from.
Okay, I'm from Delta State. I'm Urobo.
You're Urobo?
Yes, my mom is Yoruba. That's
Oshari,
Oshari.
Mavo,
yes, big boy. My mom is Yoruba. That's why my name is Tosin. My Urobo name is Tiga.
Okay, you say your mom is Yoruba. Yes. From Southwest.
Yes.
What state?
My mom is from Ife.
Okay, she's from Osun State.
Yes, Osun State. Yes. Sorry, I don't know the Brazil like that. They can't cast it, bro.
All right, so Tosin, your mom is Ife, and but you speak Yoruba.
I know I speak a bit of Yoruba. I'm pidgin.
Okay, now pidgin is. You know Sabi Yoruba. You know
I Sabi small Yoruba.
Sabi Yoruba small.
Small than pidgin.
Okay, that's good. Not bad.
Not bad.
All right, so Tosin, now let's talk about film for you. We know that you're the son of the renowned Peter Igho.
Peter Igho, yes.
And Peter Igho is the sensational TV producer, you know, producer of repute, you know, produced, you know, great movies.
So great series, Things Fall Apart. Once Upon a Time, Kokora Dawn. There's so many.
Remember the soundtrack for Kokora Dawn? When you hear the sound of the cockroach,
I used to think it was the cockroach. And I hear the song and I'm like, okay, it's cockroach.
Yes,
not cockroach.
Yes, cockroach. Beautiful, beautiful song. Yeah. You know, I know Peter Igho was with MTA.
Yes. When the country was good.
So country no good again. I'm coming to that.
Is it good?
So let's talk about your sojourn. You know, your sojourn into film.
Okay, so like I said, I basically made the first music video that I was ever in. Even when I was 17, I directed myself.
Oh, okay.
Because we couldn't find. This is what happened. We did a song. We got on. We basically, me and my guys just saved money. Went to a studio. A studio in Surulere. It was very popular at that time.
Dolphin Studios. Dolphin.
No, not Dolphin. It was in Surulere. I can't remember the name, but it was very popular. It had like state-of-the-art stuff, rivaling Even Ezra.
Okay.
So
now Even Ezra we did.
So we I took the song, and I went to Cool FM, and Lisa just took and listened to it, and as we were driving out, I heard the song.
You heard it on radio,
and it was popping, and we were playing it, but we were very young. We were playing it, and it was so it was good. So we then let's make a music video because it was now we were becoming popular.
I remember Napoleon and all of AVI that time.
I was AVI. And then we didn't know, we were trying to get, we now were seeing music videos, people were shooting, and we're, man, this one don't make sense. Because after you watch, Nigeria was heavily influenced by the foreign.
So basically, you put your.
So we see what we did. We went to NTA and then convinced some of the NTA crew to come, like cameramen and all this. So we took NTA cameras.
Not clip this mic.
We took NTA cameras, and then we went to that time 11:45. You remember 11:45? Anybody will remember 11:45? I'm old.
Now the way you want to take abuse us, you know,
so
all of us
went 11:45. So we did the first music video inside 11:45. That time, what the guy's name, the owner, was a very cool guy.
Yeah, I remember. Everybody. He had an Islamic name. Nedo guy. Get Islamic name.
Get Islamic vibes.
Islamic vibe too.
Yeah, so
I remember that guy.
Yeah, so he paid. He gave us a very nice price, almost free.
Oh, okay.
And he let us shoot them. We shot the video in 11:45. Went back to NT office where they edit news. NT staff, so we're sitting down and now telling them.
Analog editing.
Analog editing, yeah. So that's first experience into making content. But I mean, when I was small, I did take my back camera on and I shoot myself. So I was already kind of, because he used to rent the equipment out, so he left. So I used to steal it. But sometimes they catch me and flog me.
Impressive. Your first film was Seven. I remember
first film was Seven. Yes.
Seven was actually a very good movie.
Yes.
And he did well. So,
he got a very good reception.
And you won some awards with
He got 7 nominations. I won 2 awards.
Oh, what nominations? Which?
He got Best Director, Best Cinematography,
from which awards?
Best AMVCs.
AMVCs. Okay,
yes.
And then which awards?
He also won City, one Best Editor.
Okay.
And yeah, I think Best Editor, two awards from editing, I think. So.
And are you edit the film?
Yes.
Tosin, my brother, you did try. All right, so now let's talk about Suspicion.
Yes.
Now, what's inspiration behind Suspicion? I mean, we saw a whole lot of stuff.
See, like
magic.
Like for instance, now this is somebody called me a few days ago and said he saw this new trailer from called Sinners with. And he was like, Tosin, I kind of understand where you were trying to go. Because the inspiration for Suspicion was, I was definitely looking at, in terms of Nigeria, first of all, this is the first first perception of where the logic came from. I wanted to make a film that resonated to the audience today.
Okay.
So, because we were basically in a superhero world, you understand what I'm saying, where these films were making. And my own logic was, in logical speaking, if somebody who existed in Nigeria, who had powers and you know how Nigerians are, they would not be doing things for the reasons that those ones will be doing stuff. And that's where the logic started coming from. This is a very long time ago. So I made a short film in 2008 with the idea of someone who accesses and uses it to help people. But there is some financial gain, because I just calculated that Nigerian people like money.
you don't like money.
So
like money, you too like money.
That's where the first insight came. Then I spent a lot of years doing research. If you look at it, there was a lot of world building onto how this works, equivalent exchange, that one, the process, the world, the parents, the other. So there's a lot. And the honest truth is that the only thing that saddens me about the project, the only thing that saddens me about the project, it's meant to be a trilogy. There are 3 films. Okay. And that was the deal I had with Amazon before they left. Those 3 films. So there's a lot that we, even in the first cut, that we, let's keep out. So people are going to think. So people are going to see, they'll find this out next film, find out in the next film. Yeah.
In the
sequel and the trilogy.
Trilogy.
So as you see, the character issue that RMD plays is revealed at the end.
Yes.
So he's the main villain of the trilogy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay. So
there's a lot of world building, there's a lot, but I mean.
So what was the budget for Suspicion?
I honestly, and there are reasons why I wouldn't want to disclose exactly.
No, you have to.
No, I can. No, I mean, I can help. I can tell you something. I have never had a big budget.
Really?
I've never.
But that's not what I heard.
No.
What I heard was that you got about $800,000 as budget for that film. That true?
No, I didn't get that as a budget. Remember that I have to think about it. Suspicion was made in 2021.
Okay.
And so there was no deal with Amazon, nothing. We made the film.
Okay, you made the film.
Yeah, we made the film first. And we took the deal to Amazon. So
so you're hearing from the horse's mouth. Yes. You know, because there's word out there that you actually got some very huge budget for it. So what is the estimate? Just give us a rough estimate of the budget.
Look, see, because of what you heard, I'll just let them be. It's not good for them to be hearing out. Even if you look at my films, people look at it. I've not made a big budget film yet.
Okay, so do you think 300? You know, if you escape me, do you think $300,000 is a good budget for a film?
I think that would be wonderful. Now,
so that's a big budget. That's considered a big budget.
Of course, that's big budget. In my own perspective,
you just told us that you didn't spend up to $300,000 on
no,
the film.
I didn't say anything. I did not say it.
You didn't need to.
I'm just saying that.
You didn't need to. You said.
I'm just saying that I'm just saying if you gave me 300,000 for a film, you probably see what the film would look like. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. Because so we know for a fact that you didn't spend up to 300,000. Can you tell us one scene, you know, from that movie that, you know, when you guys were shooting it, you know, made you really panic, like, you know,
man,
the
car, you know, shooting that car chase on 10 Million Bridge, brother. I look sky self say, bro, what the hell was I thinking? Like, am I stupid? What was I thinking, man? Because the other day we had to reshoot that.
Oh,
it didn't work. It wasn't successful. We wasted money and it wasn't successful.
Oh, on that car chase on 10 million.
If you look at the film, it's not on 10 million.
Yeah, it's not on 10 million.
Yes, but if you look at behind the scenes, you see us on 10 million.
On 10 million, yes, I noticed.
Yeah, rigs and all that. Say it's not. No, it
didn't work out.
It didn't work out.
Oh,
yeah, I mean, you make mistakes. You plan stuff in Nigeria. First of all, the people you arrange are going to block the road. When you get there, they say, okay, no, they can't block the road. They can only block it for some minutes at a time. Two, the rig you hire, the expensive rig you hire that we can put the car on and those guys didn't even know how to. You know, they didn't know how to use it.
To work it.
So it was not like, you're just like, man. And then the drivers that you bring, the cars they bring now couldn't do stunts. So you're like, what's in, you understand? But yeah, it just wasn't the best. You get what I'm saying? So we had to reshoot that later. Okay. We only could reshoot it when Amazon even came in the game.
Oh, okay. That's when you guys were able. So you reshot that much later.
Yes. Shot that this 2024.
2024,
yes.
Just before the release.
Yes, for sure. Because I was like, no, I'm not. I have to reshoot it. So even like I said, they're like, bros, you go. The money we pay you now, you go. I said, I don't care. I have to reshoot that. I can't. I mean, bro, you know, you get where they come from.
I get you. All right. So now, Suspicion has been released, you know, for a couple of months now.
Yes, it has. I think 3 months. So can you imagine?
3 months. Yes.
It feels like a long time.
Yeah, it feels like a long time. It's always like that, you know, when you're in between projects. So how would you rate the response and the feedback?
Something that's very shocking. Very shocking. Suspicion, I presumed that like maybe the critical people and the people will be like, oh, we love this movie. And then maybe like the main audience, they say like the people who go and see Wedding Party or Funke's movies would not. But strangely, it has been, okay, let's say half of the critic people are in love with the film. And the main audience has been taken by a huge fraction. Yeah. Which was surprising to me. I thought it was going to be because the film I made it so it's like put it like this. Let me explain something. When you watch Suspicion,
yes,
you see all those quiet moments where Voke is in his office doing something. In the original script, he has a voiceover, so he's explaining what just happened.
Okay,
so he's saying, "Oh, that knife I saw is similar to the knife I saw there." So he has a monologue, which kind of like feeds the audience. When I watch it, I think, you know, I think the audience is smart and let me not feed them. So I want you to figure it out.
Okay.
So I removed the spoon feeding from the film. Well, and normal Nigeria, they go feed everybody everything. I explain every single thing and nobody would say. So I figured, you know what? So I felt doing that. I also felt maybe I've alienated the people who don't get time.
True.
But those people are the ones that even get the film.
You get the film.
Do you understand? Amazingly, it was shocking to me.
The audience don't grow.
The audience, so the audience who are going to watch films in cinemas, everybody, all of them love the film. Okay. So it's now maybe some.
What about money-wise? When I make money, when I don't make money with this film.
Of course you are. Of course, I'm not a stupid person now. You make money now.
So you make good money.
You make, yeah. I'm not a dumb person. I make films that make money.
It's really nice to hear that, you know, people you know, invest in productions in this country and they can still make more than.
I mean, we sold it as an Amazon original, so yes, we made money.
So you make money. You know, and Amazon.
So that's why you see the confusion is your budget for the film is not exactly what you sell it for, because what you make in box office is not your budget. So most people have a huge budget. I can tell you again, I've never had a huge budget in any film.
We know. Say the film should have below $300,000.
That's what I'm saying. But it doesn't mean I did not in business sell the film for good money.
For good money.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
I get you very perfectly.
You see the film because the lucky thing is that because I'm trained in most of these disciplines because maybe I handle some things myself. If I were to have cost that money for, so if you check the actual, what I'm saying, if you check the actual value, maybe it's a bit more expensive. But because I subsidize a lot of things just because it's me.
Because you render a lot of
it's like for instance, like your own show now. If I ask you how much, let me capture now like this.
Wait,
but what is your budget for this episode now?
I'm the one.
But if you were to pay for every single thing you're doing,
brother, trust me, we won't even be here.
That's what I'm saying. So you get where I'm coming from.
We won't even be here. We won't even be doing this.
Do you know
you see me now, they set up these two things.
That's what you know. So
my brother.
So this is
shout out to Emmanuel.
So that's where when I say, okay, I've not really had a big, that's where it comes. So now because I can subsidize, the same way you're subsidizing your project.
Oh yeah, we are. That's how we make it work.
That's what I mean.
At the shoot, at the edit, we do.
Exactly.
Tosin, you're very big on, Hollywood too as well.
Yes.
You watch a lot of Hollywood movies.
You can
Obviously,
tell,
you can tell from your productions. But let's say you were going to shoot a Hollywood version of it. Say maybe.
Where they give me the money.
Yes. So who would play Stan in this role? Who would you pick?
Strangely now, I know people don't like because there's something happened to him. Blah 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 blah. I still like Jonathan Majors.
Oh, Jonathan Majors.
I still like.
That's a great actor.
And he looks like us.
Yeah, he does. He does.
I think he would be. He's good enough to get the accent.
Oh yeah.
He would be.
No, I'm saying that typically if you were going to do like a Hollywood version where people would speak a normal Hollywood version, say somebody took your script and readapted it for the Hollywood market.
They actually pay for that now.
I know. I'm saying, and suspicion does happen. It could happen. Okay, and you just have to put yourself.
And if make it,
okay, so who would play Uzo's role? Who would you pick for Uzo's role?
Let me think. In America, the problem is I'm not thinking of white people.
That's okay. That's what I'm saying. So tell
us. Because it doesn't matter. But it's a Nigerian film. It has to be Nigeria. That's the problem. But there are a lot of white. Because the idea is I would have gone for like maybe Seth Rogen, somebody a bit nice.
Seth.
Jonathan. But I don't know. I'm trying to think of who the black version of Seth Rogen.
No, it's okay. When we said no, it's not really. We're just trying to say. We're saying Hollywood. If you're going to readapt it for Hollywood,
because you wanted to make somebody who was very nice looking and not.
Because we need to have this kind of conversations, because it is obvious when you watch a lot of Hollywood movies, you see that they're basically running out of ideas. Even in Hollywood, they are complaining about the plots, the storylines, the scripts. The only thing that is unique right now in the world of movies is Africa. Okay, and we know that it's just a matter of time. They already do. They're doing our stories.
This Skull and Bone or something that's been shot.
Yeah. So basically,
they're coming.
We need to start having more of these conversations, and there's a very big chance that even the ones that have been done,
we need to get to a standard at which they can come and collaborate with us, or we are producing these films on the standard that we can make the profit from. Because imagine how much money we have lost from Woman King.
I'm telling you, but that was a great movie.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Imagine how much if we had done it and distributed it for China, but it's just our government and the country is not.
Okay, so we're still talking about roles. Okay,
so let me not jump.
So you said Seth Rogen, right?
Yes, Seth Rogen.
For Uzo.
You said I can choose white people now.
Yes, you can choose anybody. We're talking Hollywood. Okay, now say for Tina Mba's role, because she played a very crucial role in that film. Who would you?
How can I forget this woman's name? But I'm trying to think of a black. I don't want to see a white person. I'm trying to think of a black person. Viola Davis.
Viola Davis.
Yes.
I know you're going to say Viola Davis.
I can even forget Viola Davis.
Okay, what about R&B? Who would you?
Of course, now.
Who would play?
I need to even say.
Say.
Lawrence Fishburne.
Lawrence Fishburne. Yeah. If you were to swap roles,
me and actor.
Yeah. If you were to swap roles, who would that be?
It will be the issue, the bad guy.
Now you go swap roles. Okay, do an impression of any of the scenes for us.
Okay, for that one.
Do an impression.
Okay.
Can look into the camera and do it. Look it again.
You say you don't save the girl. Yes.
Okay. Do another impression.
Of the same person?
Yes, maybe something longer.
Okay. No, it didn't have too many lines, man. Just like, do me for free. In time reach, I could call you. I know you killed that part.
So this is a very soon you begin act your film too. Not the only shoot and editing.
You killed that part, but
you should try. He did a very good job.
Yeah.
He did
a lot to have been in the sequence.
So who choreographed the scenes, the fight scenes?
Tough Bone.
Oh, Tough Bone. Top one. You did a very good job.
Yeah, but the thing about it is, I can be honest, let me be honest. I don't care if I open anybody when it comes to fight scenes. The Nigerian fight scenes, at least I think Nigerian action films, we still have, as much as we think, we still have a very long way to go. Even with Suspicion, it was supposed to be even a lot more action. But once we started training and and got on set, it's something that dawned on me that, it before the actors and everybody can get to that action place where we can really be action, like you can watch an action. It takes the way it was through directing and editing that I now figure out. So what I do is we shoot one punch like 70 times, just so if it can. So we might shoot a 1 minute fight scene for half a day or 2 days.
A 1 minute fight scene for half a day or 2 days,
just to make it look the way you see, the way it is.
My God, a lot of work.
Yeah, but that's because, like, how they would train for a fight scene and in Hollywood. They would, when they performed it only if you just put a phone on the side, they would look like fighters and it would work well.
Okay.
In Nigeria, maybe the tough bone and them, but it's hard for them to get to that place where they look like the punches are throwing their blood. Do you understand what I'm saying? And it's sinking. So you always have to cheat. Okay, going to this angle, shooting this point. Then when you edit it together, it now flows into one full fight scene. I'm sure in time we'll be able to pay for the actors to train for 6 months, and then maybe, do you understand what I'm saying? Maybe to get there. Yeah,
I got you. It does make a lot of sense.
So now, if you're going to do an action film, you might have to go and take Tough Bone and make him the. Do you understand what I'm saying? Then you know what I'm saying? Yes, like the way they do in Hollywood with the kung fu people, like Jean-Claude Van Damme. You go and carry the kung fu person and then make them the lead, and then it might work easier. So I think that method might work. Because now we're saying taking actors who don't not fight and training them to fight. So it's not it. So, but yeah,
and that would be capital intensive.
That's what I'm saying, because you have to train them. We trained them for 2 months, and we something on set we still had. So you need to train them for like 6. It's not like we're training every day. You need to like put them in camp, weight lifts. In America, they do them for 6 months, 7 months, sometimes even 1 year.
Oh, okay.
Before, so they look like,
I know a lot of work goes into fight choreography and some of the stunts, and all that. So it's a good thing, that at least we're getting there. But it's nice to hear that, you put in all that work.
But so to make it look a bit, look at it so they look good. So they look good when they're fine. So
you see, look good.
So
those things.
Yeah. So you see why we have a lot of fight, but not everyone is long enough. We have done proper long, but it's.
All right. So now let's let's relax a little bit. Okay. We had some really interesting soundtracks in.
EXO.
I know EXO. They try. What's your favorite soundtrack from Suspicion? Which one? When you had this.
I can tell you I can't say a scene. I can't tell you. I can tell you the scene where the GT, the actress Uche, is telling the story of how they found Robert's body. That's fireplace where she, like the music really helped that performance.
Okay.
Also Tina Mba's.
I noticed the soundtrack in those parts were really great.
EXO is
right. You nailed it.
Yes.
So now let's come to Nigeria now, because we've talked about a few things. We'll talk about Nollywood now, okay?
Nollywood.
Now, recently, Basket Mouth, made some allegations, that, sparked up some serious controversy.
Yes.
As regards Netflix and all that, about how producers use a very small fraction of these very big budgets that they get from Netflix, to make these movies. Is this true?
There's something you hear that people have spent, they gave people 1-something million for a film.
1.1 million what?
Dollars for a film, which is...
they've really given people that sum?
Yes, they give people that sum, yes.
They give Nigerian producers 1-something million dollars.
I know somebody giving 2-something, sir.
2-something million dollars?
Yes.
Who be the person?
I can't tell you. I can't tell you. And that is...
Was it for
like,
one movie?
No, and listen to me, and that's not like, like it's different now. I'm explaining to you that you have made a film and then you sell it based on the value. That's different because you've produced the film and they pay you money based on the value. So if that's the case,
no, that's not the case I'm talking about.
I'm saying that they never shoot. They can't give you
$2 million
or 1.5
for Nigeria.
Yes.
Then give person.
Wait, I'm just saying. Go past.
No, they
it
go
has happened.
It
don't happen. It has happened. It has happened. So those I've not been fortunate to be in those situations. I wish I have, but by the grace of God, definitely to happen. I'm just trying to say that these are factors that have led to like international investment being an issue. One, this is not just into film. It's not a thing of just only film.
Yes.
If you go online and you Google, the Nigerian reputation is there. There's a reputation that we
As
have.
regards this
In
particular-
regards to coming to invest in Nigeria, we have a reputation.
Yes, of course.
So, and no matter how profitable it seems, come and invest, there's a reputation that if you're coming to Nigeria, these kind of things are going to happen. When those guys come in, they're going to ask who are the biggest producers in the industry. They're not going to think of, let me go and find the, do you understand? So if the biggest producers presents to them, they're not going to think that that's going to happen. They're just going to, oh, you're the number one producer in Nigeria. Oh, wow, wonderful, great, and nice to meet you. Because that's how their industry works.
Yeah, of course.
And then they will hand off money. Do you understand where I'm coming from? That is one factor. So it's not a factor only of the money they give. Because around the world, this time thing around the world, China, France, people do things. We're not the first ones or to ever be that kind of thing can happen. But the thing about it is that when they give the money, the scale of the production clearly shows. When they give a producer $2 million, and they give a producer $400,000.
Yeah.
To them, when the film is brought, they see the scale of the production.
Yes.
So the problem with Nigeria was the situation is that when somebody brought film that is shot and they paid for acquisition, maybe it's like 100K or something, and they had a film that they commissioned or something, to them, the scale, there was no difference in scale. So that's what they are trying to say. They did not see the difference but we spent, the difference is not there.
Yeah.
And then you have to look, these are factors. I'm just trying to add, those are the factors on why Netflix and then will exit. That is one factor. Because they were investing, almost been here for 7 years.
So basket's mouth allegations were true.
I would say it's also a factor. It's not the only reason why they left.
And no,
But it's
I'm
a
not even
factor.
talking about why they left yet. I've not gotten to that part yet.
Yes.
I'm trying to confirm whether or not those allegations that he made are true.
So yes, what I'm saying is that Basketmouth himself does not know how much they spent. Jonathan, I'm not saying the problem is how much they spent. I'm saying that the production did not carry the scale of the finance. So if they gave 1.5 million, it's not like they came and saw. I mean, like I said, business is business. If you give a laborer 1.5 million and he finds a way to do it for 500K and you go there and you see the house and it's the house,
yes,
you're not going to complain because your money's what is there. That's where I'm coming from. So I don't know, Bangima might not know how much. How do you know they spent 100,000? How do you know? How do you know they spend? Do you understand what I'm saying? How do you know? I don't know if
I see
what I'm saying.
I'm going to ask you a direct question,
saying.
Tosin. I know, because we're trying to establish these things.
Yes.
Is there any Nollywood film that you're aware of that looks like it is worth $1 million?
That's what I'm trying to explain.
No, don't explain. I'm asking you now. Is there any Nollywood movie that you have seen by your standards? Because I mean, you made suspicion. You talked and you established some factors. When you said that you rendered some of those services yourself. We've considered some of these factors. But let's just say on a plain scale, you're going to do things the way it ought to be done. Okay, you're paying for every service that you need to pay for. Is there any Nollywood movie that you have seen that you would say, in your opinion?
In my opinion,
that has commensurate value.
What I'm saying is that I'm not going to dance, but I'm going to give you my perspective. We'll still come to the same answer. This is what I'm saying is that now the value of a film.
Yes.
Yeah. If you say value of film, like what you see in the film. Yes, I've seen films that might have spent
that.
No, but there's a difference with looking like a Hollywood film.
That's what, no.
That's what production. No, production value is a factor. Nigerians kind of sometimes they remove production value and they spend money on things that do not bring production value.
I get you.
Do you understand what I'm saying? So you might see things in the film that will cost money, but when those things not adding to production value is irrelevant. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I get you.
Because like for instance, if you see a film that has 700 people in the crowd, they spent a lot of money that day.
Yes, of course.
So in terms of production value, now that's one mistake that we make. For instance, now they will shoot a film for $400,000 and then there's one small boy in the corner editing it with laptop.
I'm saying that, you're looking at a Nollywood movie, you are 25 minutes, 30 minutes through that movie, and you can tell that this movie looks like a movie that is worth $1 million. Do you know any films like that?
That's what I'm trying to explain to you, that you might watch a film that is made in America for $150K and it will look like $1 million. That's what you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
So the perspective is that there's a thing about money.
Okay, so just
so yes, there are films in Nigeria. I can't tell you, I don't know what film I would call, But I can tell you that there are films that when you look at them, okay, this one might have spent money.
And you can't tell us what.
I don't want to identify films here that look like.
Have you seen Breath of Life?
Yeah, I've seen Breath of Life.
What do you think of that movie?
I thought it was a wonderful film.
Does it look like a $1 million film?
You see, that's what I'm saying. When you're asking someone like me now, I'm thinking about, okay, I'll say, this doesn't look expensive.
So
I would think in my perspective that I would have spent, if I looked at it and the things that happened in the film,
yes,
I would tell myself, and when I hear the budget, this just come from my own perspective on how I work, and because if I didn't delegate, I would have spent more. But I think in the elements of my film looks more expensive than that film. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
But you understand what I'm saying? But just because I'm looking at the elements of what was happening, how many people were in the film, how much crews, how much cast, how many crew, how many locations were shot. It's not. You understand? I look at it. It doesn't seem as excessive. Okay. It seems smart and precise.
Well, that's a great movie.
That's what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is, but when you now get speak to them, you go, okay, maybe they built those sets. Okay. Maybe they've shot in London in the beginning. Maybe you understand those are costs that now. So you don't. The idea is that when you look at a film that costs money, that film just has production value.
Yes.
Doesn't mean that they didn't spend the money. Some people might have not spent the money. That's an example. So let's say, like I say, I did not spend that. But people look at it and say, it's a lie. Guys, see the production value of this film.
Yes.
Because things are happening. There's this club. There's that one. There's that one. How did you get all those things? For how much? Do you understand what I'm saying? How are you doing those things? How are you costing these things? But if you look at a smaller film, that everything was cost accurate. Like example, this interview now. Somebody look at the interview and say, oh, how much? Somebody else will go and spend how much on just this interview, but see how much you have spent. Zero.
Well,
you understand. So that's why you can't really quantify.
Perspective.
So it's only when you see, okay, it looks like the production value is high. That means that just matters who's behind the camera, who is doing costume, and that's now the production value.
That's why I was asking you, because you know these things. I expect that when you watch a movie.
So I think that you
will not watch a movie from a layman's perspective.
Okay,
you want to see the cast. You want the film. You want to see the crew.
This film is announced and everybody knows it's clearly $1 million. Black Book. Yes.
Okay.
$1 million.
That's a fantastic movie too, as well. So, okay, Black Book, and you're sure of that? And
it's in the book. The budget is everywhere. Says that it was $1 million.
And it looks it.
It looks like where?
Yeah. Okay. So what's that guy's name again? No.
Ed
DTF. That's one guy. I'm going to talk to him too. I think he's working on a new project now too as well.
And I think it's an international project.
Oh yeah. All right. So now we've addressed the basket mouth allegation. Now there's another allegation. No, because we're looking at these things. You're in an industry. You are a stakeholder, so you would have first-hand information on some of these things, better than some of us. You go to a cinema, you want to go watch a movie, and then they're telling you, don't watch this movie, go here. And then they say sometimes some of those cinema attendants or the operatives or people who work in those places, in those theaters, sometimes adjust the times for some movies to suit certain producers. Where they know that it will be some sort of peak time where more audiences viewing audiences will come to watch. Have you heard this? Because you sound like
I've heard this, and I kind of have two theories on why I think it might be happening or why I think it's
false.
No, I wouldn't say it's
so it's
false.
true. First of all, I always want us to establish
I don't know
whether these are unfounded allegations.
The same way you heard is the same way I've heard.
Okay.
From people who are like filmmakers who it's not happened to me yet.
Okay.
But it happened to people, and you won't really experience it until it really happens to you. Okay. But I think the president of Scene kind of put a law that says no actor can come.
The president of
Scene, Cinemas Exhibition Authority in Nigeria. Benga is the head of Cinemax as well.
Okay, sorry.
So he put a law now that no actor or producer can come behind the counter.
Okay.
So I mean, if the case where they present a law like that, it must be for something must have been going on before the law.
Well, when did he?
Recently, maybe like a week or 2 weeks ago.
Like 2 weeks. Okay, 2 weeks. This was from us at when we're doing this.
Yes, okay. From behind.
So
I'm saying something must have been occurring for that must have passed. Because the idea is the problem is like we are Nigeria and we deal with Nigeria.
Yes.
So politics is always something that is a factor in business or whatever the case is. And the thing about it, there's a law, I think in America, it just got cancelled like 70 years ago, that states that an exhibitor cannot be a producer.
Oh, okay.
Which means like Film One cannot make films because of the monopoly. If Film One is distributing their own film or Silverbird is distributing their own film, I mean, business-wise, you would probably put your film in priority because that's where you're making money.
Okay.
So if a production company owns the cinema and you're coming to watch a film, and I'm the owner of the cinema and I produced my own film, most likely my film is going to have more priority. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because I have the control to it. It's my own cinema. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
This was something that was outlawed in the rest of the world.
Okay.
It's just, I think a year ago that like how America is, or that 70 years or something, the law. So it just, I don't know if they're going to renew it, but only now, because Paramount had to sell their studios.
Oh.
Yeah, so Universal was not allowed to produce films and have a cinema because there were politics around it, because then the Paramount would prioritize their own film. But we are still in a place where our studios, cinemas and studios are still producing.
Okay.
So the cinema is Film One. So what I mean is that if Genesis is distributing a film and Film One is distributing a film and Genesis owns the cinema and Silverbird owns the cinema and Silverbird's film is there, you get where I'm going with this. I'm saying maybe that's one business, actually from a business standpoint. The priority of the film that is owned by the cinema might be taking preference.
Oh, yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Okay, I get you. Another thing I wanted to talk about is some of these figures, that have been churned out, for some of these movies, Nollywood box office.
And stuff like
films are doing 1 billion.
1 billion.
I know you and I talked earlier and we talked about growth and all that. So these figures too, you can confirm that they are true.
No, the thing about it is I can't say 100% that the figures are true because I don't know what's good. But from what I see, I don't see any reason. You have to look at it from a business standpoint.
Yes.
Attendance is not exactly the money. What I mean is the way they calculate attendance is separate from what the money is. Example, let's say when AY did 30 Days in Atlanta.
Yes.
The film made about 150 million around there. But back then, one cinema ticket was about 1,000 or 1,500.
Yes.
So
and the money had better value.
Yeah, money had value. So imagine that at that point in time, he did that amount of money, and I think dollar was 19 naira.
Yes.
At that point in time, so a lot of people had to attend for him to make that amount of money. Now you're sitting at one ticket at 7,000.
7,000.
Like say when Wedding Party made 500 and something million.
Yes.
I think tickets were about 2.5 then or something, or maybe it was still 1.5. But what I mean is that inflation is also a factor.
Yes, it's a factor
because the attendance might be the same, or even might have been more with Wedding Party.
Yes.
But because of inflation, it's possible for us to be doing these numbers that we're doing now. Because every film is 300 and something million now. Almost every successful film is doing 300 million, and this was something that was like AY doing 150 was a big thing then, and he made a lot of money. But people are making 300 million cinemas and you're not really making a lot of money.
Basically, there's been really no much growth in that area.
You'd have to really look at the numbers drastically. But from my own perspective, I know inflation is a huge factor. But it doesn't, so the attendance might have been bigger than it is now.
Yes.
Or honestly, I don't think it's too far off. I don't think it's either less or maybe a little more. But regardless of the fact, I still come and play that as a filmmaker. The participation of the audience still beckons that look, we're 200 million people in Nigeria.
Yes.
Let's say a film makes 1.6 billion. Multiply that, let's say even reduce it from 7,000 to 5,000. If 1 million people had watched a film, it would have done 5-something billion.
Yes.
Do you understand?
Yes.
So you're talking about a couple of 100,000 people that are participating.
If
we were making money as filmmakers in the cinema, we would be coming home with 20 billion. Because that's, let's say, right now I can't tell you what the exact problem is that there's not enough screens or there are not enough people participating. Because like I was explaining to you that if a group of bus drivers should come down and enter the cinema, the cinema will shake. It will be like, people are comfortable. But the day that those people can enter and pay for films, not feel uncomfortable and can afford it, the numbers will skyrocket.
True.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And then people make stupid money. The thing about it now is that the buying power of the country is only the people with buying power that can go to the cinema.
Yes.
So the rest of the people are not participating.
Yes.
They're not going to cinemas. So we're not making the money we should be making.
Yes.
So the cinema, that's why filmmakers say, oh, the cinema deal is bad, cinema doesn't make sense. It's just because this industry is still small. So the money that comes up is based off the amount of people that come. Because now, even if you make 1 billion, you're only going home with 30% of that.
Okay.
So if your budget was...
So you're only going on with 30%?
Yes.
So the cinemas get to keep 70% of it?
Yes. That's what the deal is. I can break down what the thing about it. Your exhibition, which is a cinema, takes about 40, depending on the country. Nigeria is not even that bad. 40% to 50. They take 40 first week. As it goes down, as you stop getting demand, they increase to to about 50. So let's say you take 50 from them. Let's say that. Then your distributor comes in and takes about 15 to 12%. That's 62 or something. Yeah? Then tax will come at the end of the day and they'll cut you down to about 25, 30. The only problem that we're having in Nigeria is this problem I have, and I'll say is this. In the Western world, you get less, but this is why you get less. If you take your film, your distributor will then spend money, not you. So you made your film, the distributor and I say, okay, I'm going to blow 150 million on marketing. You don't understand what I'm saying? So that's not due, not on you. And they'll give you an advance of 50 million. Say, take hold. I'm going to release your film. I'm going to spend 150. Here's 50 million. Do you understand what I'm saying? Then when the film goes and makes the money, they will take that 200 million first before they give you your 30%. So, but the only benefit there is that you as a filmmaker does not spend money on marketing because you're not really supposed to.
I get you.
But Nigeria, the distributors demand you to spend your money on marketing, but which increases your cost, and you don't recoup back the way they would recoup back.
Okay.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
I get you. Let's talk about cancel culture. Actors being cancelled for certain things, Probably maybe one person just doesn't like them. Are you aware of this?
Yeah, very. Yes.
What are your thoughts? Cancel culture.
I have no skeletons in my own cupboard, so I don't really get
Have you ever cancelled any actor?
No, I'm not cancelling.
Has anybody ever called you to say, okay, cancel this actor?
Me, no. Let's go with it.
But have you ever heard any producer say anywhere that?
I've heard that it has happened. Well,
I heard from a producer or from an actor?
I've heard from an actor. I've heard some people, this person was blacklisted or something. I've heard that, but I've not come across it personally. But that's just me, because I'm just one of those guys. I don't get straight.
You do your thing.
I don't get straight. You can ask anybody. I don't get mad.
All right. So what about sexual harassment? Female actors, even male actors too. Okay, complain about being sexually harassed.
That I've heard a lot more about. I've heard that it happens. I heard this one. I've heard here's story, here's that story, here's story, and this one. This one, this three. But same thing with me. Me and my wife, they are really. I don't really.
Okay, but there is also a different angle to this particular subject matter.
Yeah,
there is the reverse.
You do get DMs. I do get DMs. You get DMs from actresses who want to. And you get DMs, but
you get a lot of that too.
You get sometimes.
No, because you say I get DMs.
No, I mean I can give you an example. There's once I've got a DM where somebody saying hi and they send you a picture. And then you ask, why is that picture included with your pitch? Like it says, I'm interested in, I want to be an actress, blah, blah, blah. And they now say, those pictures where you snap and it disappear?
Yes.
You now say a picture and why is it included? So I now go press as a movie, press bar, and I say, so what does this have to do with this thing? I say, no, I'm just sending you. I'm just saying it happens. I see it like this, that like if you're in a position where if this role is going to really change somebody's I think so, they might try. You said, but as a guy, you go, if you know that you're supposed to do an audition in a room, you said, no go enter there by yourself only.
Okay, so that's part of your message. Is that why you work closely with your wife? Because I know your wife works closely with you.
So sometimes I even use her for casting.
To do the casting.
Casting, perfect.
So avoid all this kind.
I'm not saying that it happens all the time, but sometimes you said, no, don't put yourself in a position, because what are you going to say? At the end of the day, do you understand? I don't think it's a good thing. If you think somebody is good for the role, cast the person. You shouldn't be casting because you are making promises that you can't. And then you're now, you don't understand?
I noticed that in most, I don't think you're guilty of that, because we saw Suspicion, we saw the likes of Tinamba, we saw R&D, but I just wonder why a lot of Nollywood producers these days, we don't see the likes of Genevieve or Motola Jalade, we don't see, and if you're watching Hollywood movies, you still see the likes of Michelle Pfeiffer, you still see Jennifer Aniston, you see some of those people.
I'm with you 100%. And then I was saying now that the industry that was actually the third biggest in the world was their industry. It's not our own. If you take a picture of Aki and Popo, and let me even say Stanisi, take it to France, and say, do you know who this person is? This more like, I know these two small boys. And, do you know what I'm saying? Because that was the industry that reached the world. That's why they are still
very relevant.
That's why R&D will still stand and everybody knows who he is, and the new guys are still, because those DVDs, they went everywhere. That was so if you're asking me about the old school to new school, I like the new school, but the old school people just have some kind of experience, like they're never late. There's so much professionalism with the. I think even when you meet the old producers and you talk to them, they shared information, they collaborated, they helped each other get deals. There was so much they did, but now it's more or less like this. What happens is if it's cool to support you, then the industry will support you. But if it's not. So it's actually like somebody is doing a film, taking a film to, it's actually like Suspicion. Or let me say a film is coming out, let me not say Suspicion.
Yes.
If I post it on social media and 4 other producers post it and it becomes, oh, it's cool to support this guy, then everybody will. But if it's not, so we're not really in the game of let's support every single film. We support the films that, oh, my guy, the people who are close to each other support each other. But I think back in the day, everybody just wanted every film to succeed. And something I always say that the way we should be now, if you wanted to succeed, is that everybody knows we should be meeting, in sitting there and saying, look, that guy is making a film. How do we make sure? So even if I make a film, I can call the film producer and say, come and watch. And they say, no, guy, you can't represent us like this. Go back. Because that's what Hollywood was doing when then Steven Spielberg was starting. They were all coming together and making sure that their voice was heard and worked. So it's not a case where we'll make 2 good films, one person's film is now terrible, carried us back. So when 5 films are great, you watch the 6th one.
True.
If 8 good films are good now, if one film should blow up in cinema now, next week another blow up. We now say, oh, Nigerian films don't they change you. The next film we'll go and watch it.
And this is
how make more money.
This is how we should be.
That's how
this is perspective. We should be supporting each other.
Because the fact is, but now it's more or less is like this is like you want to be the one to make the film that everybody will say is crazy. And most people don't want it to be that guy because you want to be the one that made the film that was the film. And so it's not a case. So most people, when a film trailer comes out, most people are waiting for it not to succeed. So they still have a chance to be the one. Do you understand what I'm saying? Some sort of, let's see if you do it. And if you haven't paid the dues, like you haven't worked for this person, worked for that person, and you just came from here, they'll just be looking at you first. It's until you over excel, they now support it. But do you understand what I'm saying? But they don't be looking at it and don't looking at it like this, like, let's see what happens. You get what I'm saying? So when somebody stands up and says, "Oh no, are you not supporting this thing? Are we crazy?" And then you now start thinking, "Okay, it's becoming cool to support this thing, so let's all support." But otherwise,
because it amazes me each time, I'm wondering. We had stars like Genevieve Naji, who's still very beautiful, Motola Jalade, these are still very active people. Like I said, you still see the Charlize Theron, you still see the...
they are still the ones that would really cross boards in films. If Genevieve is in your film right now as the lead actress and you have the cross boards easier because she's international. She's been, do you understand?
We hope to see more movies like that.
Yeah, no,
I just like we have reviewed.
I'm talking now. If I get, I hope she will. Let me put that in my face.
And probably she would see this. We have.
That's what I'm saying. That's why.
And films should cut across all generations.
And they'll be different. That's why, for instance, I would go out and make something like Suspicion that is completely different from everything everybody has seen. Because you know what I'm saying? Because people were like, "Oh, this is nobody's doing it," and probably after it, nobody will still do it for a while. Do you understand?
But you'll be shocked. So let me do like a small teaser for you now before we go. So let's say now you're stuck in an elevator now.
Wow.
Okay, you're in an elevator.
For my wife and my son now.
Wait, I never tell you how we did the elevator with you. Let me start again. Bam. Okay. Let's say you're in an elevator, okay, and there are 3 other people, and you have to kick one person out.
Oh wow!
Now, these 3 people, one na Beyonce. One Nancy Sine, and then the other person Kelly Rowland. Who are you letting go? Who you will come out from the elevator?
Nancy Sine.
Nancy Sine, you come out. Nancy Sine. You don't say that they talk. You say the one you use it for your next video.
No, that's different now. I'm just
Bill am high. TMB for this guy. Okay. All right. So, Tosin, are you working on anything new at the moment?
Yeah, I'm working on a lot of things. I'm working on I'm developing a lot of projects. Well, the original plan before was I was going to be shooting Suspicion 2 this year.
Okay.
But since Amazon has left, we're just trying to figure out how that's going to play out 100%. Okay. So that is a bit on a hold now.
Okay.
And we're now trying to do smaller projects. And since the exit of Netflix and Amazon, we all have to figure out what that means in terms of distribution and finance. Because a lot of people in filmmaking, even in Hollywood, cinema is not like your main source of income. It's just a part of it.
Yeah,
you make a part of your money there. So now that we don't have a second or third option, you now have to figure, okay, what do you do now? Do you make low? You do smaller projects? What other options are there? Are you going to take that are financially viable? So we're just trying to figure out that our distribution wise. And once we are, but I'm not like it take too long. I'm sure for the end of the year, sir.
Okay, that's good. So I was going to even ask you, what is the wildest, behind the scene moment, for Suspicion when you guys were making it? Like one very wild behind the scenes moment, something that happened that made everybody laugh or cry or scared you guys that, you know what I mean? Just tell us. One very wild behind the scenes.
Anything wild happening in that set.
Nothing wild.
Nothing wild. We prayed every day.
Oh, everything went smoothly.
I'm a careful person. I knew what I was doing every day. So, nothing wild happened. Anything wild happened. Can I ask M. Dot?
M. Dot.
M. Dot.
M. Dot don't take for industry.
Yes.
Biggest boy, one of the veteran. Have you used the word veteran?
He was in the film now.
M. Dot was in the film. Can you guys see? You see this guy?
He started the guy with the.
When I remember from Suspicion, the meme. M. Dot, any wild thing they happen for that set? Any wild thing?
Yeah.
Well,
like the part where Tosin was reshooting the scene. The part where Tosin was reshooting the scene with the stuntsmen.
Okay.
Yeah. For the second shoot, when it was done with the previous shoot.
Yes.
Yeah, one of the stuntsmen had to walk through glass.
Okay. Then they slapped the guy in the glass.
Oh, really?
Okay. But that was not wild. Was he wild?
Yeah, because he was bleeding.
Yeah, he was bleeding. Yes.
He bled.
Yeah,
Really?
but those guys know what they're doing, so they were prepared for it. They
of course.
They knew that it was going to happen. So
They knew it was
like,
going to happen?
Yes.
Yep.
So they like, we know we're going to. So,
That's some serious wild moment. Now you say nothing happened. You don't let us miss out on this info shoot.
so they knew it was going. So they knew it was going to happen, and they're like, but let's just still do it. Like,
But what was your experience like on that set? Did you have fun? Because I know you're also a production person too as well.
Yeah, my experience on that set was amazing because I learned a whole lot.
Okay.
Yeah, from prepping, because I was behind Tosin and I was opportune, and I think that was a big privilege for me.
Okay.
Yeah, from prepping to even when he was trying to build up the story.
Yes.
So I was behind him.
He was there,
doing
yes.
all that. So I learned from scripting to prepping to doing a pre-shoot, so you won't have any challenges on set, and having the mindset not to compromise, your standard, because in a country like Nigeria where you want to achieve greatness, sometimes if you don't have the right crew behind you, they might even help you dumb down your creativity.
Yes.
So, and he having that in mind, by the time he started picking, okay, this person is going to work with me on this person, so he was really, really up for, okay, I don't want to go ahead and just pick random crew. I need to pick someone that have the same vision like me and try to express, the picture how I want it. So I really picked a whole lot, from prepping to scripting to shooting to production, even to editing. To me, that took me to another level. I think when I'm doing my next project, oh my God, I'm not going to compromise.
So that's good. We're happy to hear that. M. Dot is still with us in the building.
Yes.
In the building. Those, come out from camera, man. In a tight space. But some people send me questions, say, make I ask you. Especially say, make I ask you, say, whether you the bully, whether you the high.
No, yeah.
You they drink alcohol. I don't say the shark now.
No, really. That is sip. No.
Would it be the sip water?
No, I mean, I don't really drink. I actually not only once in a blue, when we come out or something. But
now when I come on, don't
worry, my mind is twisted normally. I don't know. I wish let me say I never try, but it doesn't just work for me.
They work for you. Even me too. Anyways, M. Dot, so what are your parting words for your fans? Anything that you watch out for?
Yeah, man, come on. This is 2025, and we're going to have this time. I don't want to bust the bubble yet, but watch out. Working on something big. Watch out.
Tosin Igho, parting words.
Me now, they take time. It's doing that thing because this country no easy.
Funny enough, so we got one question when I want to ask you. When we've been there off camera, you been say, things don't change.
Yeah.
You know, we're talking about, finance, because Tosin is actually moving offices.
Yes, I'm moving on.
He's moving. In fact, today when we do this, and that's why, everyone.
That's why we're in the corner.
That's why we're in the corner. We're in the corner because Tosin's moving.
You can pan
moving offices. We just had to look for some space to do this. Okay.
Yes.
So, when we talked about, why we're moving and a whole lot of stuff, you talked about, scaling down, expenditure and stuff.
Yeah, scaling down.
You say country don't change.
I'm saying because mainly is, as a smart person, I've always been business perspective is that as the industry changes, you need to be able to, people who sustain longer are the ones that will survive whatever situation is, and excel to. So if I want to do more projects and do more things, I have to, okay, what is a big expense? What am I not needing? So we scale down to be able to keep the production company going.
Yes.
Scale down on staff, scale down on equipment, we scale down on anything that's not necessary for now.
Okay.
And then focus on developing more incomes, more sources of financial income to sustain. Yes, because we always want to keep investing into filmmaking.
That's true.
Do you understand? And we don't want to be, I've never been in a company that's kind of, you never the one that really goes out to seek investment. We always generate our income, generate the costs for our own projects ourselves. So,
makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So, Tosin, you were saying your pattern was always the one that they take
Take it easy. Take a cool.
Yeah. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed it. We'll be talking to Tosin Igho, and we talked to M. too. I wish we brought him in earlier, but we're going to do a separate exclusive comprehensive interview on M. M. is somebody I think Nigerians really need to meet. This man is very talented, and he's been around for a bit. He's not just an actor or production person. My name's Zdon Paporella. It's been really nice talking to you guys. Thank you so much, Tosin Igho.
Much love,
Movies in a minute. You know how we do it, but today we don't spend past 1 minute.
Movies in an hour.
To bring you more exclusive interviews behind the scenes.
You're doing a great job, though.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
demand Zdon.
Sit down, never go yet. We don't say that.